Alright, so it's kind of windy. I'm making the sled and red video again because one or two people were annoyed at how fast I went through them. And out of spite, this will be the last one uploaded, but if you've seen this before, you can watch it or not. It's just going to be a bit more in depth. But this is Tucker. Battery box on the outside. You got to remember to turn on and off. Inside, very simple. Radio fits two, not really comfortably at all. Nothing on this thing makes it a fire department vehicle. It's not, doesn't have any foam or water or anything. It just pulls the sled. Little toolboxes. I don't think there's much in them. There used to be some blankets in here, but we took those inside. One thing to note about driving this thing, you have to be moving in order to steer, because you'll break stuff if you just try and crank the wheel. And the tongue on this sled weighs like an easy 100 pounds. And so it's very nerve-wracking, and arguments sometimes occur when you're trying to hold the tongue of the sled up and someone's trying to hitch the sled, and it's always, you know, just not close enough here, so you got to pull way forward, come back, now you're too far this way, and it's a process. The sled, right now the door's open. I'm gonna have to close that after because I had it running. In here is our little auxiliary power unit that we switch on that runs the tank heat when it's out moving around and not plugged into the building. It's just a press button start, press and hold, it'll kick off. In here is a little fresh air intake for when the power unit's running. This little door just pushes open because with the wind and the snow, there's times where this is just packed full of snow, and it helps keep the snow out of the sled. Here's the fuse panel. You have to remember to switch it from shore power to generator power and back and forth depending on what you're doing. Interestingly, this sled, because it's so cold, has concentrated foam on it. It's not diluted with water like you would normally do at home. And it has dry chem, and it's pressurized with nitrogen. And so to pressurize the sled, there's a valve back there you got to turn if you ever had to use this thing, and actually, you know, spray foam or dry chem. So you have to pressurize the system. It's not like home where it just put it in pump and it works. Another little pump panel, pump hours, foam tank fill. I gotta try and rush because it's so cold. The phone battery may die, so it's kind of move and go. Here's the actual pump panel, like 3 discharges, on, off, high, idle. Shoreline. Reel line. And a little 1 3/4 hose line. 2 nozzles so you can decide if you want foam or dry chem and not have to switch nozzles or hose lines. It does both. Normally there's a ladder in here. Right now there isn't. There's a chain. But So there's really no hand tools on here. It's cold and my phone might die, so the red will be next, but I actually don't think there's much in here either. Yeah, it's just a little port for something. But that's the Sled and the Tucker. There's one more of these that has a little crew compartment on the back, but other than that, that one's the same. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go inside, warm up my phone, and do the red. All right, so my hand is warmed up again, my phone's warmed up again, so we're gonna go through the red real quick. Well, you know what I mean. But there's two styles of these. This one has tracks that are better for hard surfaces on it, the flatter, kind of grippier track. And then there's others with more of like a metallic track that's better for soft snow. But with the airfield we're at, we have this style. And then there's another style of body that doesn't have as wide of a box. And it has little toolboxes on the outside. Everything on it's the same, and there's nothing in the toolboxes. So you're not missing anything by not seeing the other style. It's just how they were built. Yeah. Well, that stayed in. That is the second time, my entire time I've been here, that I've fallen on the ice. And I am one, short, and two, it's really slippery. So that's staying in. I'm not too proud to work around that. So there. That'll be immortalized for all to see, but standard radio. Here's how you charge the system. There's a little flip switch to charge the dry chem and one to charge the foam. Like the Sled, it's not diluted with water. It's straight 100% concentrate. It's got an additive that makes it like Antarctic foam, forming foam. So it has an anti-gel cold weather additive, but other than that, it's the same foam like you'd see back home. Airband radio is this top one, which is for listening to the planes. If something really bad happened, we could talk to the plane, tell them to go around or do something, but more often than not, it's just so we can listen and know when we have to be on hard stand, lined up, ready for the plane to come in. This controls just like a video game, where I can move the turret around and kind of store it down out of the way so snow doesn't get up in the nozzle. But other than that, two back seats for SCBAs and Halligan, and inside is very bare. It drives pretty much like a regular truck, except with the tracks, it's really hard on the transmission, so it likes to kind of overheat if you're going real hard on them. And they're permanently set to 4 low. You can't shift to like 4 high or 2 high. They're always in 4 low. So you're not going anywhere fast. And you have to watch the turbo pressure and the RPMs, and it's kind of a balancing act of how fast you can go. You don't want to hammer on the trucks. You kind of let them get up to speed slowly and be gentle on them because they'll break. Trying not to eat snow again on the way out. The back of these are heated, so the saw, actually, is it heated in here? I don't think it is. The saw's in here, a couple lengths of hose, hand tools, tire chocks. For some reason, this truck doesn't need chocks because of the tracks. That's more of a wheeled vehicle thing down here. piercing nozzle. Again, you can charge the system from back here, dry chem, foam, hose reel, rewind. Like the Sled, everything's powered by nitrogen. There's a big tank of foam and nitrogen in back. But not a whole lot going on. More just basically a big version of the Sled at the end of the day with some more tools on it. These are getting replaced. There's plans to get piston bullies, which are like a tracked, like they're used a lot for like being grooming ski trails and ski slopes and stuff like that. They're basically planning on getting some bigger versions of these on a piston bully, which can go a little faster. They're gonna have a little bit more foam on them, just a little bit larger and more improved version of that. But other than that, that's the Reds. Not a whole lot going on. So thanks for watching. Next will probably be engines and ambulance and a couple extra little vehicles that we have back in town. But this is my last shift out here, actually. It's almost time for me to go home. So tacking this on at the end. This is station 2. There's a bunch of people in there. I do have an older video of me kind of walking through this. It's not super great. I don't go into all the rooms, but I don't want to bother everyone. So I'll throw that up at some point. Just a little mini tour inside. This is our fish hut. Little extra room. It's got 2 beds in it, just because right now there's 8 people in what amounts to 2 shipping containers welded together. So a little extra space. And then as for town, that's the bathroom in town. There's no bathroom in the station, so if you gotta go, you gotta walk outside, go across the street. And there's no kitchen in the station. The kitchen is that orange building kind of right in the center of the screen way at the end. So if you're hungry, aside from, you know, whatever snacks may be in the fridge or in the cabinets, you gotta walk across town to go get lunch, dinner. All these gray buildings are all air guard. They're workshops. They got like an engine workshop and that blue shed at the end, and basically everything that's not fire station or, you know, support is Air Force. The power for the town is that big generator building kind of behind the telephone pole. I believe this one is weather, and I think the air guard may use it for something. I'm not entirely sure about that second part, but I believe that's a weather building. We got some weather, so planes may or may not fly today, but there's the actual airfield. It's kind of interesting. The taxiway is right on the other side of that berm in front of the station, so planes will travel, you know, 15 feet in front of the station as they're taxiing around, and it shakes the building. It's kind of interesting. The only other thing out here is the actual control tower for the airfield, and it's that little building right there. So that's it for buildings. There's 2 runways. It's kind of hard to see, but we're kind of midway along the primary one. It runs like right here. You can see these flags kind of there. There's the set. Who's focusing? But behind the telephone pole is the set. And it goes this way, and there's a crosswind one that kind of starts way over here and follows like this little line of flags. There's a set of flags, there's a set of flags, and that's the other runway going back that way. So thanks for watching. It's not super impressive. There's not a lot to these trucks, because the simpler it is, the less chance it has to break. But thanks for watching.